All right, welcome to the Life with Joey Calvo podcast. I am Joey Calvo. We are on YouTube as well as on PhillyCAM TV. And also, we do have a new website that's being updated as it's being launched. It's lifewithjoeycalvo.website. On there, you'll be able to listen to past podcasts as well as you can help support the podcast, and more things will be going on there within the week, where we have a merchandise website that will be linked up to it, as well as a list of upcoming guests that will be coming on. So today we have Kijuan Amey, and he has a very interesting story to tell. I'm not even going to read what's on here because I'm going to let him explain it. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, Joey. I appreciate you having me on today.
Okay. So, like I said, I didn't tell your story because I wanted you to tell it.
Okay.
So who are you? How do we get to where we're at right now?
Yeah. So again, my name is Kijuan Amey. Born and raised in Durham, North Carolina, and ended up joining the United States Air Force after completing high school, and served 10 years there as an inflight refueling specialist as well as an instructor. And one, of course, tragic day in May of 2017, the 5th to be exact, I was involved in a horrific motorcycle accident, which is why I'm wearing these shades for those who are checking it out on TV and the YouTube channel, and can see I'm wearing these shades not just to look cool. I am wearing them because I have lost my eyesight. But as I always quote and state, that I may have lost my sight, but I didn't lose my vision.
Mm-hmm.
And vision is a mental state for me. I have to stay mentally strong and capable and prepared more than anything, and we all should. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of how I ended up here where I am today, as a professional resilience speaker and an author, and doing a lot of other things in the background as far as like being an Air Force Wounded Warriors ambassador and mentor. So I do quite a bit of things.
Okay. All right. So you were in the Air Force. You were serving our country well, and we thank you for that, first of all. Mm-hmm. And then unexpectedly and unfortunately, this motorcycle accident happened, and it just kind of erased everything that you had worked for, in a way, and just introduced you into a new chapter of your life that you're in now, where you're rebuilding, but as you're rebuilding, you're becoming explain a little bit more about what really a resilience speaker really is. Not many people have ever ever heard it this way.
Right. Not too many people probably know what it is, to be honest. They probably just think it's a fancy word, but resilience is really something that we all have to do on a daily. We just don't know we're doing it. But resilience is where you have something like, for example, I'll use myself, my own personal accident, and you find out whether you bounce back from that thing. But me personally, I like to take it a step forward, how you bounce back and move forward from it. Because I could have bounced back easily, just got back on my feet, but I would have never became a professional resilient speaker. I would never became an author, would have never became an ambassador, never became a mentor, would have never became a coach, so that's the moving forward steps that I like to bring to people's attention, as far as resilience as well. And that's where my professional side comes in at.
Okay. All right. And explain the therapy that you had to go through for all this.
Oh, gosh. I'm still going through therapy, I tell myself, because to me, it never ends. And the reason I say that is not to sound like it's drooling and just ongoing pain and therapeutic styles. But what we have to understand is when you go through something traumatic, it usually never goes away. Your mind is going to remember it somehow, some way, some shape, some form. So it can go away.
Yeah.
And so what I mean by this is, yes, I went through physical therapy, of course, because I literally have fractures and broken bones and new metal parts inside of me from head all the way down to my right foot.
Okay.
So everything with my spinal cord being medically infused, both of my legs haven't been broken. I work out 3 days a week, just to kind of keep myself in shape and mobile, because without moving, I'm telling you right now, gosh, your body goes really stiff, first off, and it gets to a point where you're going to need somebody else. And I'm capable of doing a lot of other things because of it now. Because I remember back in the day, because I do travel for, the speaking engagements and stuff like that. But I remember back in the day where I used to have to sit in a wheelchair to go around the airport.
Wow.
Now I can walk.
That's good. That's a blessing.
Yeah,
that's a huge blessing. Yeah.
Exactly. Because I had to learn how to walk all over again. And so building my leg strength up at the gym, whether it's being on the treadmill, the bike, doing squats, doing deadlifts, whatever it is to build my leg strength and my back up really helped, because now I'm capable of walking. And so anywho, I also do mental therapy because of the trauma, not only to my head with the traumatic brain injury, but dealing with the eyesight loss. People don't understand how detrimental that is. I lost my eyesight at the age of 25, and when you sit back and you think on that, you're like, wait, what, 25?
Yeah.
For some people, they're not even 25 yet, and so they're like, I wouldn't know what to do if I lost my eyesight. And it wasn't something gradual either. It was instant. So I had my accident May 5th, 2017. And for a month and a day, June the 6th, I was in a medically induced coma.
Okay.
And so when I woke up with no sight.
Okay.
There was not like oh, well, you're probably going to lose your sight. No. It was already gone.
Okay.
And so that's why I tell people, like, going through therapy, especially mental therapy and things of that nature, is very helpful for traumatic moments, traumatic incidents, and things of that nature, because it helps you deal and cope with what you're going through. And also other things, like for me, I was a musician before my accident, and I'm still one today. And I've actually added something to my repertoire.
Okay. We'll discuss that in a minute. Yeah. There is one thing I always want to know.
Okay.
And it I always have the fear, of losing my eyesight and everything. When you woke up out of that medically induced coma and you realized you were blind.
Yeah.
When you open your eyes, okay. And of course, you can't see. Does it come out like when you open your eyes, like, do you see like white, like you see it like a light?
Currently, I see my left eye is completely blacked out because I have damaged blood vessels in there. They're like completely blown.
Yeah.
And then like my right eye has a little bit of light perception, but it has to be as bright as like the sun.
Right.
Or like when you go to the eye doctor and they shine that light in your eye.
Right.
It has to be something super powerful. But me just sitting here right now, because the sun is not directly hitting my eye.
Right.
I see like a dark purple, dark bluish, kind of blackish.
Okay.
It's almost like somebody got punched in the eye.
Okay. Okay. Well, no, I was always curious.
Yeah.
What a blind person would, because if it ever happened, I want to like be ready to okay, is this what I'm going to look forward
Yeah.
to?
Well, it's kind of different for everyone as well. It's
Yeah.
also based off how damaged your eyes are because
Mhm.
my girlfriend who her eyes are she's visually impaired as well, but
Yeah.
it happened a different way.
Yeah.
And so she sees light with no problem. Like she
Yeah.
turns on light and she's like, "Whoa!" Like it's
Yeah.
very bright for her. You
Yeah.
turn on the light for me, I don't even know you did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, it's different for everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, I was always curious because I mean I
Mhm.
had, I knew people that were blind and stuff, but I never really asked them.
Yeah.
Like I was never really curious back then of
Mhm.
what they really see, what really they look at,
Mhm.
when they open up their eyes. And I was going to get about so you were in a medically induced coma.
Yes.
Now when you woke up, and of course you realized, what type of feelings did you have, like when you woke up? Like besides being blessed to be alive, though. But like
Yeah.
what, what type of feelings did you have? Like did you were you freaking out kind of because you couldn't move your body, or
Well, the first feeling I had and thought was, who the heck are these people in my room?
Yeah.
Because I thought I was asleep at my house. I
Okay.
had no clue I was at the hospital.
Okay.
Not even an inkling
Okay.
of a clue. Because again, I'm in a medically induced coma,
Yeah.
and when you have such head trauma like I had,
Yeah.
your brain tends to block your memory from that stuff.
Okay.
So I have no recollection of the accident. I just
Okay.
know what was told to me.
Right.
And so anywho, I wake up and I'm hearing voices and I'm like, who the heck are these people in my bedroom? And I sit there and I'm listening and I noticed one of them, it was my ex-girlfriend,
Yeah.
or is my ex-girlfriend now, but she was my girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I recognize that voice.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, what the heck is my mom doing in here?
Yeah.
And that's what told me something was really wrong.
Right.
It was like, why is she in my bedroom?
Yeah.
And when you first wake up in the morning, you're not expecting your mom to be in your bedroom.
Yeah. You might expect the ex-girlfriend in your bed,
right.
but not your mom.
Exactly. Like, Mom,
Wow.
we are not in school anymore.
Yeah. Wow.
So anyway, I'm listening to them talk, and they were conversing in regards to the motorcycle accident, but never name dropped. So I never knew they were talking about me. I knew they were talking about someone who had been in a motorcycle accident.
Right.
And so I'm like, come on, will you guys tell me who it is? Like I want them to tell me without me asking. You know what I mean? Like,
what am I missing here?
Yeah. So I'm actually, sitting there playing possum as I'm just a really funny guy. I like to do things and have a good time. But I finally got tired of listening to them talk around the person.
Yeah.
And so I go to open my eyes, and that was when I noticed I couldn't see.
Right.
And I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm looking around the room. I'm like, okay, I know I'm in a room because there are people here.
Yeah.
And so then I close my eyes really hard and I open them up again.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I can't see nothing. So now I go to speak. Well, I couldn't say anything either.
Wow.
Because my jaw had been broken and they wired it shut.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was waking up in like a nightmare, dude. Like, I already couldn't move because of my spinal cord surgery. So like sitting up wasn't an option.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, if I was gonna move, like pick myself up, I had to do it with my hands on the head, the rails of the hospital
bed.
The
rails of the bed. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when I say muscles were gone, depleted, like that, they were gone. My arms literally were the only things that really had, I guess you could say, working muscles that didn't require me to go through physical therapy.
Right.
My legs had muscles, but trust me, they needed therapy.
Yeah.
Because they had they had two rods. So I had my femur, which is the largest bone in your body, is on my right leg, is a metal rod. My tibia on my left leg, which is your shin bone, is a metal rod, and then on my right foot I have a screw.
Mm-hmm.
So everything, all those needed some kind of work, you know. But anyway,
Yeah.
when I understood that all this was going on, I'm like, what the heck is happening? I
Yeah.
had no idea, what was happening up top with my head,
Yeah.
because it wasn't wrapped up. Like it wasn't still wrapped up
Okay, so
anymore.
it wasn't like what you see in the movies in
Well,
reference.
not at that point,
Well,
because
yeah,
it had already been a month, so I had
yeah,
already went through the worst.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but when they were, of course, doing the surgeries, yeah.
yeah. Well,
Mm-hmm.
we're glad that you are with us at
Mm-hmm.
this time, and sharing your story and stuff, and um, of course, explaining how you went from serving our country to now being a speaker and really explaining life,
Yeah.
what life is really, what life can feel like
Mm-hmm.
in a position that you're in right now.
Yeah.
You mentioned about being an author, so
Mm-hmm.
explain about um, what you wrote.
Yeah, so my book, Don't Focus on Why Me, From Motorcycle Accident to Miracle, it is basically about the first person perspective of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
What I found out, like all the information I told you, I don't remember the accident, but I remember what people told me about it.
Mm-hmm.
I know it was on the police report.
Yeah.
From all of those scenarios, I'm putting pieces together.
Mm-hmm.
And then I take you from, so the beginning of the book is talking about what I was doing, like at the time, like, being in the military, serving our country, but I also had my own business, also going to college full time. I was doing all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I have a motorcycle accident,
Mm-hmm.
and I get you up to that point. But
Yeah.
then I talk to you about what was told to me
Yeah.
from my perspective.
Right.
And so after I tell you those things, I
Mm-hmm.
walk you through my journey, the rehab, the depression, the suicidal thoughts, all these things
Ooh,
I'm talking to you
man.
about in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is all coming from my side. This is not from anybody else's point of view. I
Mm-hmm.
wrote the book myself as well. So I went back to school. So I went to a school that
Mm-hmm.
taught me how to use a computer again, taught me all these different things. And then I also went to a self-publishing school to teach
Mm-hmm.
myself how to write a book, and teach myself how to self-publish through
Mm-hmm.
via Amazon.
Right.
So I did all these things because I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is during the pandemic. So this is like October of
Mm-hmm.
2020.
Mm-hmm.
I started going through all these schools and courses, and I finished and published my book June of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So I ran through it pretty quick, but that's because I have been sitting on this book for years by that time,
Oh, okay. So, um, we're gonna we're gonna teach our viewers something interesting.
Okay.
Okay, in reference to this.
Yeah.
Now, when you wrote the book, and this is where, like I said, where technology comes in these days and so on. How did you manage to get the book from from within you to paper?
Yeah. So, like I told you, I initially had to get back into the school mindset of navigating a keyboard and the computer.
Okay.
Grant Now, thankfully, I loved computers before I had my accident. I wasn't
Great.
like I wasn't this person that was like, oh, screw technology,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right. So my degree in college was in computer information systems, so I was
Okay.
well versed in
Okay.
computers, and so that helped me. But what I had to do was learn how to navigate a computer without sight now, without a
Right.
mouse,
Right. Right.
because when you're using it as a blind or visually impaired person who
Yeah.
cannot see very well on the screen,
Right.
you only use the keyboard.
Right.
You don't use a mouse.
Right.
And so now you got all these what they call keyboard shortcuts.
Right.
And so that's how I'm navigating the computer,
Mm-hmm.
having to get, to the self-publishing schools,
Okay.
like website and their courses. They
Mm-hmm.
did have me an assigned coach.
Okay.
to me. I wish I could remember her name. Her last name is the same as this famous kicker in the NFL. I can't remember it right now, but
Okay.
anyway, she was very very helpful. Gano. Her last name is Gano. So yeah, Michelle. Shout out to Michelle Gano.
Okay.
Anywho, and so I would have meetings with her once a week, I believe it was, and then you had community meetings as well.
Right.
And so I would go through all the courses step by step to get my process growing. And it's the biggest thing that I had to do was start writing.
Okay.
It was like the best thing you could do is just start writing.
Yeah.
You'll worry about the editing and all that stuff later when the time comes.
Right.
And so because everybody, like, we are so accustomed to, grade school. You type something, you mess something up, delete. No, they don't do that as authors. They type. Yeah. If they see something spell check, they'll do that later. Type. That's all it's about.
Yeah, because they had the thought in their mind right there and then, and they want to get it out. Because if you have to delete, you're not going to have the thought. You're going to lose the thought, and then you're going to lose where you're at.
They want you to think of it as like when you're initially typing before you get into the editor phase. Go back to what you did in school. You had rough drafts.
Yeah.
So we get so used to being perfect. That we try to edit right then. So I had to get my mind trained to do that, and it worked for the most part. But that was the biggest part. The biggest hurdle was getting over that. So just typing without editing, and once I got past that, and was ready to send this stuff off, really find an editor first, because I did have to find a legitimate editor. He was actually in the army at one point in time, and now he lives in Thailand, I believe.
Okay.
And so we were like 12 hours apart.
Right.
And so he would work on his edits during the day, and I would be sleeping. And then when I woke up, he would be sleeping, and then I would work on my edits. So it was like we were literally trading off like that. It was so fast. That's why I went so fast too.
Yeah.
Because we were literally trading off versus us both being in the US, and I would work one day, he would work one day, No, we were basically working the same day, but flip-flop.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. And then, you go from editing to book formatting to make sure it's the perfect, because I wrote a memoir, and they have certain sizes and font sizes and, things that you need to have marginalized, all these different things. I don't know nothing about that. Okay. That's not my job. My job was to be the author. And so I then, after finishing that, had a professional design my cover, front and back. And I gave them the pictures that I wanted to use. And I said, do your best with it. I mean, what I'm looking for is for them, because I gave them a picture of my motorcycle, the actual motorcycle that I rode, and the background of the lake that I was leaving from before I had my accident.
Okay.
And so that's how the picture came together. It's the motorcycle in the middle, and the backdrop is the lake.
Okay. All right. Well, what type of motorcycle did you have when this accident happened?
I had a Kawasaki Ninja ZX6R.
Oh, wow.
So most people call a crotch rocket.
Oh, okay. Well, no, the reason why I asked that is because there's someone in my life. Yes, folks, I actually wrote a Ninja 550.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the person at the time that owned that motorcycle said never again after that, because I weighed about 190 pounds when I rode on it.
Me too.
So, and on the back of a Ninja, and it was hard for that person to steer and all that.
Yeah.
So, but I will say it was an interesting ride, though. It was an interesting ride.
Yeah.
So I can say I actually loved being on a motorcycle. And this person had promised me a long time ago as well. She got she has a Yamaha V1100.
Okay, yeah.
So that's why I asked about motorcycles, because I knew someone that has two of them. Actually, she has three. She also has another dirt bike, but But I had to ask about the motorcycle in question.
Yeah, the biggest thing with having a passenger on the back is I tell them, don't lean outside the bike, lean with me.
Right.
You know,
right.
it's I said if you lean out, I said if you lean outside this bike, we're going tumbling.
Oh yeah, I was holding her tight, and this was at night that this happened too.
Yeah,
we took the ride. So, but yeah, I had to ask that. But continue on in reference to the book and so on.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much the gist of it. I definitely, when I tried to get it out in the month of May of that year, 2021. But I kept running into some troubles with all the people who were handling the book outside of me.
Right.
And I'm like, come on, guys, I got a deadline, the blah blah blah. But hey, it came out in the same month and year that I retired from the military. So I was like, that's okay. It could be my retirement present,
Yeah.
So it actually came out. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was the day after I retired.
Okay.
I literally think it was the day after. It was that close to my retirement date. And so I was okay with that. It was a close second. And anywho, I did a book signing after that.
Okay.
When it first was released. I think that was the next month. No, it was August. I did a book signing, kind of let it build up a little bit. And a bookstore near me allowed me to come in and set up a table near the front and do a book signing, and family and friends came out, and it was so cool because it was some people I had not seen in years that came to my book signing. And you never know, that's the one thing that I just want to put a little nugget out there. You never know who's truly watching you, and paying attention to what you're doing until they show up in your life. You're just like, what are you doing here? They're like, aren't you having a book signing? Well, yeah, I mean, but and so it's cool things like that. I was like, man, I thought you would have been halfway around the world or something by then. But
in reference to paying attention, I'm learning that too.
Mm-hmm.
And so before we get to that part of it, in reference to the question one, you also said you're a musician, which is great. So explain, how, what got you into doing that?
Family first, and then friends. So my great uncle, God rest his soul, I never met him. He was in the Army, and believe that was during Vietnam, and so he ended up having a battle with cancer at some point. But he was a pastor back in the day, and his son was the drummer for the church, and I always watched him while he was playing, and it was just I don't know how to say it. It was just an automatic gravitational pull where I just watched him. Whenever he picked up his sticks, so my eyes went straight to him.
You were hypnotized.
Yeah, every single time. I don't care what he does. If he touches the sticks, I'm watching him.
Yeah, that's a good focus. I
was only 5.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So that was when So you got into drumming at 5. Okay.
So that's when I knew.
Yeah.
That was the moment I knew when I was 5 that I really had something there. And then 7 was the first time I ever played.
Okay.
And he was teaching me. And I was learning so fast. He was just like, holy crap, dude. He was like, do you have a set at home? I was like, no. I just play air drums at church. And so he's like, dude, you're picking this up at a crazy pace. And I was like, I'm just trying to keep up, And I'm thinking I'm doing bad, but at that moment, you don't realize that he's got way more years on me than I could ever imagine. And I'm trying to keep up with him. And at that time as a kid, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing things. He's like, wow. And then I'm asking him questions like, hey, how do you do this? And he's like, hold on, let me see. So he would get back on the drums and he would do it. And he's like, listen, what you want to do? And he would tell me. And he's like, all right, here you go. And I would try to do it. And I'm like, but it's hitting me.
Yeah.
So with
Yeah.
me being so small,
Yeah. Yeah.
things were bouncing back and hitting me.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, it's just because you're smaller. Once you get bigger, you'll be able to do this without
Yeah.
it hitting you.
Yeah.
You know? I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, that
Oh,
was when I honestly knew, and I play to this day. I have a very beautiful drum set sitting right behind me,
okay.
and it's a DW Performance Series. I bought it after my accident because I just needed something to, again, going back to those thoughts that I told you guys about, the depression and suicidal thoughts. I needed something that I could just go straight to and pull me away from that. It takes me into a whole nother world.
Okay.
And so,
Yeah.
Say again.
No, go ahead.
Oh yeah. And so that's one of those things where I just need something to shift my mindset out of the negativity. And
Right.
I put in I have the big eggshells that you can put over your head.
Yeah.
So to help with soundproofing, it's not too loud to you. And then I put in my AirPods. I love AirPods because of the fact they can go underneath that.
Yeah.
And so I put in my AirPods, grab my phone, and start playing my music, man. And I go to work. And so it just changes everything.
Okay. So being a drummer, which type of music would you prefer playing for? Would you prefer like the smooth jazz, the heavy metal, the basic rock and roll? What genre would you fit yourself into in reference to your drumming?
Well, first off, I grew up in the church.
Okay.
So gospel music is first.
Okay.
Quartet, and those are like, I won't say they're like hand step because one, you can get a little bit more groovy, and then the other one is kind of like a straight beat, like you're just doing a boom pap, like is what we call it in the drum industry. But if I veered anywhere outside of that, I mean pop, some R&B, which I would like to say more like soul, like the neo soul type.
Okay.
For example, Jill Scott, people like that.
Of course, he has to pick a Philadelphia legend, and she will be here for the 4th of July. Believe it or not.
Awesome, man. Yeah.
Because we have what's called the Wah Wah Welcome America.
Okay.
Even though this episode will air way past July, in reference to it, there will be a concert that usually happens at the end of Wah Wah Welcome America, where they're out on the Ben Franklin Parkway by the Art Museum and they perform. We're celebrating our 250th birthday. America's celebrating 250. It's all Philadelphia. So we got Will Smith, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Jill Scott, Christine Aguilera.
Oh man.
All in one, and the concert starts like 7 o'clock at 6 or 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And then right after that is the fireworks. And when they do the fireworks, they do it from behind the Philadelphia Art Museum. So when you're watching it on TV, it's like awesome to see like the fireworks in the background of the museum. Yeah. But in my case, I get a side view because I'm like within about a mile and a half away from where they would have it. So when the fireworks go off, I'll see it from a side though. So, but usually by then, if I'm not sleeping by then,
I love Jill. She's awesome, and she actually got me through a tough time in the military.
Oh wow!
I was at survival school.
Okay.
In Washington State.
Okay.
So I was in Spokane, Washington at Fairchild Air Force Base, and survival school was rough. It's you got water and land survival you have to do. The water was okay, because it was only like I think I think either 1 or 2 days of class, and then you had a day in the pool. It's a little different now. They done built a whole new facility, but it's a little
Yeah.
different now. But back when I was going, you had a day of pool, and I know that was one of those moments where it's like, it's okay, it's simulated, everything's simulated. But when you went out there for that land survival, this is real.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And you're out there for a whole week.
Yeah.
And I have to now fend for myself as far, well, I mean, it was, I think, 4 or 5 of us to a group. And we had to come up with how we need to navigate from where we are back to, camp, basically our base. And we're using literally a map. There's no phone, none of that. You don't have any of that. This is all by a literal fold out map.
Okay.
And so when I came back from that and we got captured, basically simulated captured as a prisoner of war.
Oh, like catching the flag, kind of.
No, like prisoner of war type stuff.
Oh,
missing in action. Okay. Yeah, so because it's almost like you got simulated shot down.
Oh, okay.
And they're looking for you. Like the enemy is looking for you.
So it's kind of and unfortunately, as this is being taped, we 8 people lost their lives in California from a B-52. Yeah. So this is kind of like what happened with the B-52, kind of.
Yeah, and then I also lost some, I guess say some people as well, because that tanker that crashed in Iraq.
Oh yeah.
I was on that type of plane. That was the plane I flew on.
Wow.
Yeah, so trust me, my hearts go out to all of them, man.
Yeah.
And so when I talk about these things, that's what reflects back, and that also can bring PTSD.
Okay.
When I hear stuff like this.
Yeah.
And so that when I say she helped me in those moments when I got back from that survival, dude, that's all I played. I needed something to bring my spirits up. Because nothing does it like Jill. I'm gonna tell you that.
Well, if Jill Scott is watching this, thank you.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
All right. So now I have to introduce you to a #1 fan. She's the podcast #1 fan. She's a #1 supporter, and she's a real life superheroine. And her name is American Fox. She, if you could picture Wonder Woman, if you could.
Okay.
Just a different uniform. That's American Fox. Okay. Except picture the 2011 version of Wonder Woman with Adrian Palicki. Okay. That's what the uniform's like in reference to. But of course it's different. And she has some questions for you today.
Alrighty.
All right. And so the first question, of course, is she thanks you for your service, like everybody else should.
I appreciate it.
And she said, and maybe this goes back, maybe we might have answered it with Jill Scott, but she said, what areas did the Air Force help you in your future?
Well, that's a little different. So areas that the Air Force helped me were actually some of the trainings that I went through, like resilience training. We actually had resilience training, and that was annually. So for a time such as this, where I am dealing with my own, I guess you say lifestyle now, I call it my new life journey. But when we were going through those resilience trainings, I mean, honestly, I'm glad I paid attention to something. because at the time I was thinking of it as, death by PowerPoint. Yeah. And I'm getting tired of seeing these PowerPoints, somebody standing in front of me, talking to me, giving me a lecture, but I had no idea I would need it. Yeah. Especially as necessarily as I need it now. Yeah. And so that's something that for sure I could say helped me, along with, just wanting to be some of our core values are, the 3 core values that we go by in the Air Force is integrity, service before self, and excellence in all we do. Now that last one really helped was excellence in all I did. So every time I went to PT, I gave it my all. Every time I went to mental therapy, I gave it my all. Like everything I did, I just gave it my all. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So question number 2 from American Fox is, how did you decide to get into this field now?
I laughed because I was kind of pushed into it.
Okay.
And the reason I say that,
elaborate a little more for that.
The reason I say that is because there were so many people, you know, when people would come visit me and have a sit down with me, since I was no longer working, they would talk to me. And when they got done talking to me, the two things that would always come up are, first, I need to write a book, literally, and not joking. They're like, you need to write a book about this. I was like, yeah, whatever. And secondly, it was like, dude, you should become a speaker. I was like, what? I do not like talking in front of people. And now I do it with no problem. I can talk to somebody like at the drop of a dime. I can answer my phone and give you a whole speech. You know, so that's literally how I got into this. Is just 2019. I kind of got, I won't say fed up. I just got to a point where I was like, I might as well do it.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing that's stopping me from doing it.
Right.
I have so much time on my hands.
Yes.
I might as well do it. And then I got certified by a professional speaker and coach named Mr. Eric Thomas.
Okay.
If you know who Eric Thomas is or don't, you should search him. Eric Thomas. He is a well-renowned speaker.
Okay.
So yeah, certified by him since 2019.
Okay. All right. So question number 3 is, how do you help others with vision for the future?
Ooh. You know, I help others by, first off, listening. You can't help somebody unless you listen to what they say.
I'm in trouble already then.
I'm just saying. So the biggest thing that I think about is we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You need to listen twice as much as you talk.
Yeah.
And so with me being a mentor and a coach, I have to listen to you in order to give you great feedback.
Yeah.
I'm not just a speaker. I am also a mentor and a coach. So when it comes to that, if you listen to somebody, they'll tell you what's wrong with them. And then you could just give them the feedback based off of what they said to you. And my whole life, I would say pretty much the majority of my life has been based off of experiences. I'm like, for example, everybody should be able to relate to this. If you go put your hand on a hot stove, I bet you won't do it again.
Of course not.
Yeah, I bet you won't do it again unless you have like neuropathy or somewhere where you can't feel it.
Yeah, right.
You're not doing that twice.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I base everything off of experiences, man.
Yeah.
And if I can speak to it, I will. But if I can't, I will help you find what you're looking for. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So that the best piece of advice you gave us is, you know, being able to listen twice as much as you can speak, in a way. And I think I kind of learned that now as time has gone on. And realizing, you know, that someone has been listening to me. And in reference to someone listening to me and actually telling me what they're seeing in me that, you know, I shouldn't be, you know, it's been a worthwhile lesson. But unfortunately, though, out of it, it got me to the point where, because I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression in 2009. So I had gone through my journey of, you know, being picked on and put down and you know, showing being worthless, feeling worthless.
Yeah.
And it took until 2024, 25, 24. No, 23.
Mm-hmm.
To where now someone, well, no, correction. The second one's been 23. The first one was 11 and 12, 2011, 2012. And because I'm rebuilding my life as well. I've had my mistake, and it took 15 years to get divorced.
Mm-hmm.
In reference to it, because I had gone through so many painful relationships. So, but in reference to listening, I'm thinking I'm listening to people to find out now in 2026, I really wasn't. I'm not.
Yeah.
I really didn't catch what people were saying to me.
Mm-hmm.
It took the opposite. It took two people a matter of 15 years to hear me. It took within the past 3 to show me who I really am.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that I thank this person for telling me that. And because of that, I wind up being self-destructive, quote unquote. In other words, pushing people away, want to be self-isolated, because realizing what you're like when you had the accident and you're in the room and people are, you're trying to find out what's going on, to find out it's all about you. I can picture myself in your position in reference to that.
Mm-hmm.
And realizing, now in 2026, I'm realizing, hey, this is what's going on. This is you doing what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't think I was going to be a podcaster. I didn't think I was going to get this on TV. I didn't think, I was going to get somewhere. Okay. But I will say it took one person and all the strength that this person has to just listen to me and encourage me. Actually, it takes 2 people to encourage me sometimes. But it's just I missed the physical part of the encouragement. But but in reference to, there wind up being 2 people that stayed in my life and like fight me every twist and turn. If I wanted to push them away, they're like, "Oh hell no, I ain't leaving you." You got me for the long run. And with the one, I realized it, but it's fallen apart because that person was diagnosed with scleroderma. So I rarely see that person. The other person is kind of here right now. Well, not physically, but that number one fan, that one supporter, that real life superheroine.
Yeah.
That's the other person.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for American Fox, this podcast still wouldn't have happened. I mean, let's just say it this way. Picture Wonder Woman versus Cheetah. Yeah, that's how it got to. Not, to a physical fight type thing, but a mental, fight. And it's still because of mental fight, because American Fox is like, you're gonna keep this you're gonna keep this podcast going, even if I have to get you people out. Well, she didn't say it that way, but that, but you know, she's a superheroine that would kick ass first and take questions later. You know, ask questions later. But and I had to throw that in because you know, through what you went through, it's kind of, I kind of could picture it in a different way, but not, going through what you went through and the physical therapy and all that, and I feel bad that happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. But at the same time, we're you should be praised for being in the service and serving our country and doing what you could do during that time. So that's the greatest accomplishment in the world on top of it. And but if you really think about it, you're actually a superhero in your own way. If you really think about it.
Yeah, you're not the first person to tell me
that. Yeah. Well, actually, it's kind of two people telling you that right now, because I believe American Fox would say the same thing to you as I'm saying it. I think she would say this. She may not say the same words, but in a way, we would think of you as a superhero because you came back from an accident that almost could have killed you.
It should have.
Yeah.
from what the doctors told me, I should not be here.
Yeah. And they made you out to almost a $6 million man type person.
I was only $1 million. I was
only $1 million, okay.
I was a little bit cheaper.
but I mean, and then got you out and really, and then on top of that, with the music, being a drummer and God's calling for you, in reference to being this resilient speaker. So one good question I have for you: if your book became a movie, I don't know if anybody's ever asked you this. Who would you think would portray you?
I have not been asked that question, but I did want my book to become a movie.
Okay.
So if I had to have somebody portray me in Jamie Foxx. You know why that just came to mind like that?
Okay, go ahead.
Because he just had an incident that put him in the hospital for a while, and he came back from it. And when I listened to his Netflix story about that, it literally sounded like me. Without the accident, it sounded like me.
Okay. All right.
And so I was literally like having chills, literally crying. I was like, what the frick is wrong with me?
Okay.
But it was because it sounded like what happened to me.
Okay. All right.
So yeah.
So Jamie Foxx. Okay. I was trying to picture. I almost pictured Denzel with you.
Yeah, I get it. Everybody thinks about Denzel, but I was thinking about somebody who's kind of been through something, similar.
Yeah, and I'm going by looks in reference.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
But I could picture Jamie. But what else I could almost picture. Yeah, I gotta think a minute. Maybe a Michael B. Jordan?
I was just about to say, if not Jamie, Michael B.
Yeah. And
I was just about to say that.
I actually, you've seen, no. You probably heard the Michael B. Jordan movie Creed.
Yeah. I've seen him before, though.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, believe it or not, if I told you Creed was really filmed where I live, would you believe me?
I would hope so.
Okay.
They based it around Philadelphia.
Yeah. Well, Not just because I said I didn't say Philadelphia. I said my neighborhood.
Yeah, no, I'm saying since they based it in that area. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, believe it or not, at the time they were filming Creed, there were movie trailers all around my neighborhood.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
And if you can even if you can picture it in your mind of Creed running underneath the train tracks that is actually 2 blocks away from where I live. Is where he actually ran that when he was, of course,
shot that scene. Yeah,
that scene. That's where that scene actually took place. Was 2 blocks away from me, folks. So
nice.
So we have a couple minutes. Where do we see you in 5 years?
Woo, that's a question. I hope you see me on a lot more stages and a lot more interviews.
Okay.
I just stay kind of tucked away and come out when I need to.
Okay. All right. So you and how can people reach out to you and besides congratulating you for everything you've done?
Yeah, man. So for me, you can find me on all social media platforms, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, or YouTube. All of it, you can find me at Kijuan Amey. So all of those are the same. None of them are different. And if you don't see this handsome face, it's not me. And so other than that, if you would love to, book me to come speak or be your coach, you can go to my website, ameymotivation.com. That is AMEY motivation.com.
Okay. Give me one moment. And yeah, definitely check out Kijuan. I mean, we had this was a lot of fun. I will say that. It was very interesting. And Kijuan, you're welcome to come back on here anytime. If anything new comes up that you want to, share, you always will have. If you even want to do a seminar type thing, you could do that here. Just let me know, and we could do something about that. One thing I did mention about the website in the beginning is one event I'd like to do is what's called a meet and greet, and having fans like viewers like you come visit and meet people like Kijuan or American Fox if she wanted to come down and so on. But definitely check out Kijuan. Go to motivation.com. Find them on social media. And Kijuan, thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you so much for the enjoyment, because we get to have some laughs with it. But but if you really think about it, even the laughs through it is always the best motivation as well, because it keeps you focused, it keeps you going, and keeps you in a positive step. As much as my thoughts are not there, but but I also know that somebody would kick my rear end in reference to that right now if that person was here. Like I said, they kick butt first and then ask questions later on. But Kijuan, again, thank you so much for coming on. You're welcome to come back. Just let me know. Okay?
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, Joey.
And thank you so much, everybody, for watching the Life with Joey Calvo podcast. God bless you all.